Gaming discourse is truly something else, man. Around 2 weeks ago now, on the hellhole that is Twitter, and no, I'll never call it X, cause that name is dumb. Anyways, there was a giant controversy around Resident Evil Requiem and Resident Evil as a whole that spawned thousands upon thousands of tweets in a matter of hours. And you're probably wondering what could have Resident Evil fans in such an uproar. Did the studio behind it suffer layoffs even after the game performed well? Did one of the voice actors drop a racial slur? Did they use AI when creating the game? The answer to all of the above is a resounding no. This Resident Evil civil war was sparked by something far more evil. Something so sinister that it will make your skin crawl. People on Resident Evil Twitter were arguing against each other over the fact that in order to be a fan of a game or a game series, you actually need to have played them. Oh my god, bro. Yes, people were huffing and puffing up a storm, writing whole ass dissertations on the timeline over how evil and privileged it was to set the bar so high to be a part of the fandom. Son, these people cannot be real. Cause we are talking about video games here, people. Video games. The whole point of their existence is to be played. In this age of TikTok brain rot and forever games that take up your entire time, people just want to be a part of anything without actually engaging with the subject matter. Like my brother in Christ liking 7 edits of Leon Kennedy throwing it back on the timeline does not make you a Resident Evil fan. In the slightest. But this is not a new issue. Stuff like this has been happening in far too many gaming spaces to even keep track of it. But with the rise of short form content, this shit has reached a boiling point. At this point, we have to admit that gaming has a Larping problem. Some of you might be asking yourselves at this point, bro, what the fuck is Larping? Well, dear viewer of mine, come here and listen close. Larping is actually an acronym and it stands for Live Action Roleplay. The best example for the historical use of the term are medieval fairs, where people pretend to be from the Middle Ages and dress up as dripless medieval peasants, or cool knights, and stuff like that. These people try to act and sound like the roles they're trying to embody. They're essentially going the whole 9 yards with this shit, and I mean the whole 9 yards. So if you're ever out and about and get a whiff of body odor so strong the world starts spinning, it's probably one of 3 options. A. There's a guy around who doesn't wash his ass. B. You're in a 3-kilometer radius of a Smash Bros tournament, and if it's this option, you might as well just retire your sense of smell in general. Permanently. I ain't gonna hold you. Your sense of smell is done. Or option C, you're near a medieval festival where a guy took his peasant larping so seriously he stopped bathing to fully embody the role. And really? Not bathing to larp better? Bro just took any excuse to skip a bath if you keep it a buck. But in video games and TV shows, larping does not work like that. Yeah, sure, we got people larping as the actual characters from time to time. Like the one time where we had that Miles Morales NPC. But that shit is mostly harmless. The most obnoxious and common form of LARPing in gaming is to LARP being a fan of the game.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yes. People actually pretend to be fans of games. They don't play the games, they watch TikTok edits, look at fan art, or at best, watch a let's play. And then make it their entire personality. My god. Bruh, this shit is definitely in the top 10 of unemployment type behaviors, bruh. Cause I could never be caught doing shit like that. Like, let me give you an example so I can demonstrate you guys how insane this LARPing gimmick sounds, okay? So, close your eyes and imagine a burger. Nah, I'll just play with you guys. But for real though, imagine talking to someone about the second greatest artist of our time, Kendrick Lamar. The best being Mars, of course, but I digress. Imagine talking to someone who claims to be a Kendrick fan and asking them, oh, you like Kendrick? What's your favorite song? And the answer is, yeah, actually, I haven't listened to any of his songs. But I saw someone reviewing the album, and I saw a cool picture someone drew of him. And after that, I became a big Kendrick fan. Like, nigga, do you get how insane this shit sounds? I mean, It's fine to say you're interested in something, but calling yourself a fan is a whole nother sentence, my guy. And the worst part of all this is that these Larpers are loud and obnoxious about it as well. In whatever fandom you are, you've probably noticed quite an uptick in takes so horrible, you'd probably like to eviscerate the person responsible for putting that shit on your timeline. And in 99% of cases, the person behind the take is probably a Larper. Like Resident Evil Requiem as an example. The takes these Larpers had were downright rancid, okay? Like the rings Leon and Sherry are wearing in the game, for example. For the uninitiated, Leon Kennedy is one of the dual protagonists in RE Requiem, and Sherry is a side character in RE Requiem. Both of them know each other from Resident Evil 2, where both of them had similar roles. Leon and the other protagonist in that game, Claire, saved Sherry in Resident Evil 2, where she was still a child. At the end of the game, Sherry proposed that Leon and Claire could adopt her. This never happens, but it implies that they might share somewhat of a familiar bond with each other in the future. In Resident Evil Requiem, both of them wear very similar looking rings on their left hands. Sherry even wears hers on her pinky. And you had people on the timeline making the case that they might have married each other. Mind you, Sherry was 12 when they met each other, okay? And even though RE Requiem plays 28 years later, it still would have been weird as fuck. And all this wouldn't have even been a conversation if the people that made these statements actually played the damn games. And the same can be said for Persona fans, because it wouldn't be a proper video about LARPing if I didn't bring up Persona even once. Like how, Sway? How can a fandom of a game be so damn cooked that the biggest joke in your fandom, the biggest running joke, is that most people talking about it haven't even played the games? When they're slandering your goat, but you can't say anything because it's flippin' true. 50% of the conversations around these games is just straight up dog water, because the people talking haven't even experienced the game in the first place. Like, I'm not even sorry, but if you haven't played a game, and unless the game is obviously garbage, I don't want to hear your takes on it. Like, at all. Ever. But you can't say that to these people, because they will start yapping about some gaming is too expensive and it's ableist to think that everyone can afford to play these games. Bro, these games go regularly on sale on every storefront for less than $10 a piece, my nigga. And if you don't have a machine that can handle these games, Resident Evil and even Persona consist to 50% of remakes nowadays. Just go and play the OG games if your machine can handle the newer ones. Demos came out on the PS2, my guy. You can emulate these games on your smartphone at this point. But if even that is too much effort for these people, I'm sorry, but gaming is probably not a hobby for them then. Nothing is made for everybody, and if someone can't even engage with the actual medium, they're just not a fan of it. Point blank, period. These people should just move on and hyperfixate on things that are actually in their means, and not make a list of excuses as to why it is quote unquote problematic to have to play a game in order to be a fan of it. This was Teteo, and man, these Larpers need to move on. Signing out.